Greetings everyone, and welcome to another episode of Colonel Comics Reads. On this one, we're actually going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be looking at a trade, as it were, a trade paperback. An older one at that as well. This one's on a newspaper sort of card stock, if you will. So this is Superman, the Man of Steel. What is it? It's number 5 by John Byrne. Now, these books have been quite shocking to me, and there's one particular part in this book that we're going to have a look at here, and it is really, really rapey. That's what it is. It's rapey. It is rape. That's what it is. It involves Big Barda, it involves Superman, and it involves Sleaze from Apocalypse, who I didn't know about before reading this book, and I wish I'd never read the book and, had him purged from my mind, as it were. I mean, that would be a lot easier, rather than dealing with the travesty that is this little character here. Good God. I mean... Why? Why do we need him? Why do we need what he does? I mean, we'll get into that. We'll get into the book here. Now, this one won't have any diversity tips. The book is too old for that. People were too racist and bigoted back then for anything like that. So let's start reading, shall we, and see what kind of monstrosities we're dealing with. Okay, so I've got this bookmarked here somewhere with my own glove. I'll get that out of the way. Oh, here we start with a plentiful 1-2 male gaze right there, just smacking you in the face with that. So that's wonderful. And she has turned down a wrong alley, this Big Barda lady. And she is big, isn't she? Now, this is going to be quite difficult trying to turn these pages with my gloved hand, this newspaper. Oh, more male gaze there, watch out. And she's run into some diverse people here. She's come down to the wrong place, according to some of these guys. But, he's, helping this lady with her job here. I'm sure with that blade, he's, just maybe trimming her hair there, just hedging, trimming that hedge all around there. That's nicely shaped, that is. So, just giving her a little street haircut there. And, she wanders over, Big Barda. He offers her a job. It's the oldest profession that we know of as a prostitute, but offers her a job nonetheless. And this is where we start to enter some problematic territory, because so offering the job through here, she gets offended for some reason and attacks him. Now, of course, she is a woman and he is a diverse man, and this whole intersectionality thing, it gets quite complicated, to be honest. I won't really address that because, in real life it doesn't happen, and minorities do not attack one another. And women do not attack minorities like that. It just doesn't happen, okay? Trust me. Okay, as we continue here, she starts to, take him down, but her bag gets stolen by this white male. Disgusting, of course. I mean, even back then, they have no shame. So, of course, she sets off in pursuit of him. And they must be in the medieval quarter of Metropolis, because he throws down a giant iron gate on her, which she manages to tear out. I don't know why there's a big iron gate in an alleyway of all places, but there it is. So he pulls that down, she rips that out, jumps down into the sewer. Look at all that, disgusting. It's like the patriarchy down there. And so he gets snatched by the tentacle monster through here. So, of course, bad things can only happen from that. I've seen plenty of Japanese anime, and this is a pervasive creature through here. Many a woman has been slain by this beast. And so he snatches the Mega Rod through here. And, of course, I assume if you hit that button, it starts vibrating or something. I don't know why a Big Barda would else have a Mega Rod in her bag. But anyway, so he manages to get control of that, this little green beast, that man. I've never seen Zach's face before. That could be Zach before he got that haircut. Who knows? I mean, the devilish face of the patriarchy right there. And she starts getting blasted. She suits up into her armor. Still got plenty of shiny male gaze right there. That's unfortunate. But again, this book was written back in the time when women were not respected. I don't even think they could vote back then. So, that's something to keep in mind through here. So she starts getting blasted, gets hit through there, and smoking, she's not corpse, she's not dead, but this little beast starts feeling her up. That's nasty. We cut to Superman. So he's investigating the curious case of why aren't these old folks dead. That's what it is, really. Someone's been born here in, what have we got here? In 1866, and she's 121 years old. So again, this book was written, I guess at the turn of the century. So all these people should be dead, but there's something keeping them alive, and Superman is off to find out. Whatever could it be? There's some sort of radiation involved here, and while he's flying, we cut back to Barda, and she's doing a Native American dance. She's appropriating culture. culture. Of course, sleaze would make her start appropriating someone else's culture and increase the levels of male gaze to unacceptable levels, quite frankly. Not that they were acceptable before, any amount of male gaze is too much, just like soy. Okay, so while she's dancing and he's doing that, he starts explaining his backstory, saying basically how he was kicked off of Apocalypse because Darkseid grew tired of his, whatever he's doing to this person here. I don't know if he's eating them, raping them, or both. Could be all of those things. So he blasts him off the planet, basically to Earth, in some time period when they used whitewash walls, medieval periods, I suppose. Basically, where we still were when this book was written with regards to social justice. So, yes, we continue on. Superman comes to save her. And, she's all been dolled up with makeup and whatnot, looking quite... I won't say good. I mean, that would imply that there's some sort of toxic masculinity there. No. She looks horrible, of course, so Superman saves her. She grabs the Mega Rod and decides to start blasting him. Superman isn't having that. They're going to do a bit of a tussle, but Sleaze gets the best of both of them and drops them down a pit. Terrible. If only they had super strength that could jump out of there. But I guess that doesn't work. So he's having a bit of a laugh there. And we cut to Mr. Miracle, popping back into his own home. And who was there but Darkseid, sitting in his own couch, drinking his beer with his old-ass television. Good God, and thank God he has a VCR player, because Darkseid has a videotape, a cassette, as it were. A videotape. So Mr. Miracle has the highest of technologies through here. And this tape, what is it of? Ooh, well, Sleaze has mind control of Barda, and what the hell would Sleaze do with that? Well, let's find out. Let's read this, shall we? So we get the reactions both here of the little gnome friend, I don't know who he is, and Mr. Miracle. What is this tape? I can't say much for the production value, so it must be a home video of some sort. Looks like it was shot in the sewer. Scott, is that Barda? Oh my God, he's getting angry. It is. I hardly recognized her with all that awful makeup. What's she? Scott! Oh! It's pornography! It's pornography! They're making pornography with Barda! How could they do this with a character? Could you imagine Wonder Woman making homosexual videos with Wonder Woman? It wouldn't stand. It wouldn't stand. I want to burn this book down right now. Good God, and we get Darkseid here. My agents acquired this televisual feast from a small shop in Metropolis, a shop which specializes in such fare. It is located on a back street called Hobbs Lane. Yeah, so Darkseid basically spends all of his time having his agents run around to pornography shops in back alleys in cities, basically. So Darkseid has a lot on his plate, I suppose, there, watching all of these videos and I guess assessing them for quality. So he naturally goes to fly off the handle, but Darkseid doesn't actually want it. It's his fault that Sleaze is on Earth, and it's his fault that Barda is having pornographic videotapes made of her. Completely unacceptable, but of course he is a male ally, Darkseid, a proper male ally, and decides to help. So Sleaze selling more videos. Turns out he's got Superman under his control too. And what's his plan? Oh, well, he wants to make some stuff get a bit randy with Barda here. And his plan. What could stop him at this point? Really, what could stop him except for Mr. Miracle? But he, of course, we get a bit of his backstory through here. A lot of these John Byrne books are quite good, actually. They fill you in with a lot of backstory if you don't 100% know the characters. So that's maybe one redeeming factor for this horrible travesty of a rape sexual fantasy book, quite frankly. So we go through all of that. He comes down here, doesn't sense any danger whatsoever, of course. And what happens to him? He gets whacked in the back of the head by a bum and gets dumped into a friggin' bin. What an idiot! What an idiot! No, well, not just a bin. He gets sealed in there, and then he gets, I guess, pushed. Somehow they're able to push this giant steel box off of the wharf, the pier, the jetty. I don't know any other words. And but being an escape artist that he is, of course, that's not really going to be a problem for him. And anyway, we cut to the sexual filming through here. Look at that, they're about to get it on. They want something raw, something seething emotion. Well, it's something raw. I mean, I don't see any protection through here. That's the only way it's going to be done, isn't it? So we get through here. They start, the direction is given. I didn't know porn still used a lot of direction, but again, this was filmed at the turn of the century, so who knows? And they're starting to get all handsy, aren't they? Look at that. Look at that. Jeez. Mr. Miracle bursts in and says, "That's enough. Get your hands off my wife, you cur. You sleazeball." and he's not having any of that. So the tentacle monster gets sicked on him, and some shenanigans start to ensue there. Really, I mean, I wouldn't want those tentacles creeping all over me. Not again. So yes, but Barda, they've broken the mind control. She starts getting involved with the tentacles there. I guess she's maybe dealt with those before in another home video, and so she's quite used to those tentacles. So she knows what to do, just what to do. Knows all the right places. So she's I guess deflated this ball bag of tentacles, gotten rid of that. Superman in the meantime is searching for Sleaze. Oh, and he's almost got him, but he lights a match, and I guess there's some gas in there, and that stuns Superman long enough for him to get away. Great Scott! So he escapes, and I guess there's a whole bunch of pornographic films now of Big Barda just floating out there, waiting to be purchased. So don't look that up on the internet, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure that if you search Big Barda on, say, the Pirate Bay, Triple X or something like that, nothing good could come up of that at all. So let's just steer away from that, shall we? All right, and here we are at the end there, and all the people, all the old ancient fossils that were still being kept alive by the radiation, which it turns out was Sleaze keeping them alive, they've all passed away now. So good job, Superman. You've doomed a whole bunch of people, to death through there when they were being kept alive. I guess able to be possibly cured of their old age by modern medicine. But there we are, isn't it? That's right. Superman can't do anything right, even in this old misogynistic patriarchal era. Alright everyone, that's basically the end here. The book keeps going, but it starts to go into a different story, and I just really wanted to tackle that sleazy part there, where they basically wanted to make pornographic films of Big Barda, and, really start disrespecting women a bit more. So I'm probably going to burn this book now. It's too much for me to have it in the house. I can't have anyone come in the house through here, pick this book up, read that section, and think that I condone this travesty, really, through here. So, alright everybody, that does it for this video. I think I'm going to go on and try and make another video about the Conan movie. Hopefully that one doesn't get a copyright strike. I mean, I'm not monetized, so it doesn't really matter, but I'd like to keep it to a minimum, so let's see how we can go there, shall we? Alright everybody, until the next one, Colonel Comics. Away!